Hi, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful, empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in on an awesome viewer question, and that is, how do you manage, how do you process when a manipulative or narcissistic or psychopathic individual who has been or is currently in your life, how do you cope, process, manage successfully when they still throw off your energy, when they still are underneath your skin? They have a way to see in under the door, in the crack of the door, in the windows. In other words, they are still getting to you and your core, your center, your heart, and this is affecting your physiology, how you feel, how you process, how you digest, how you sleep, how you drink, how you eat. It's disrupting you or shaking you or trying to shatter you at your core as a result of very severe toxic inundation, manipulation, or gaslighting that we see particularly in the event of a female psychopath. Now, we have to understand and how to get your energy realigned so that it is yours again and not that of the female psychopath, is to understand the beginning once again. It is to understand that the female psychopath in their manipulative ways is originally guised, or there is a persona or illusion, or in this case we're going to say a guise. In other words, a deception, a mask, a persona that comes into your life as a nurturer, someone who is loving, someone who is a partner, someone who's a confidant, someone who is in your best interest and takes your hand along the journey. In other words, they have guided you and caused you to adjust to their ways. In other words, you've allowed that sacred molding and shaping that is at the hands of someone who is not in your best interest. In other words, they're trying to make you into something you are not. There is a direct dichotomy between the nature with which they are trying to cause and shape you, which is one of lies, which is one of prevarication, which is one of pathology and disease. They are trying to shape you into something which is in discord with your own nature and your own well-being, your own self-preservation. And the female psychopath has a way to adulterate and pervert this energy where you don't recognize what is in your best interest anymore. In other words, they shut that down. They make you silent to your own heart. They make you unreceptive and unhearing to the drum of your own ways, the rhythm of your own heart. In other words, your own momentum. They take that from you. In other words, you're running on another cylinder. You're running on another engine or fuel, if you will. You're running on the wind of change, which is bringing you to your own destruction. In other words, you think you're going to fly with them when all of a sudden they're trying to take the very ground from beneath you. You are no longer you are no longer in your own sanctity realm. In other words, the ground with which you are standing on no longer feels like your own. They are trying to take the ground out from beneath you without you even seeing. Meanwhile, you're listening to their flute, you're listening to the music, their psychopathic, enchantress. You're listening to their seduction. You're listening to this music, which is really not the music of your soul. It is the music of deception. It is the music of distraction. It is the music of, dare I say, coming apart at your seams. It causes you to feel undone. And in the beginning, that feeling of being undone is generally opened in the name of love. It's come in and undo me. In other words, unravel me so we can be raveled and woven together. We can be fused as soul partners. We can be as one. Particularly for men, this, providing for energy is usually at stake. It is at play. This, I will be here. And then there's this commitment of the eternal, or this feeling of, this person is the answer to my prayers, or they are singing the song of my soul, or their beauty is so captivating. I've been beguiled. I've been bewitched. So there's this seduction and sort of animation that causes you to animate your life. Animus, to arise the spirit nature of, or that animal nature of, which that is lust, which is connected to their spirit, which causes, your heart and your vision to become aligned to this, which will then, undo you and not redo you. So it's very important to understand that they leave you open or leave you waste. In other words, there's not an ability to close and fuse with this individual because of lack of their empathy, lack of their desiring to be a champion with you. They are that of a beguiling nature, bewitching. Do not, in order to repair the energy, when this comes back and they're trying to throw your energy off, realize it is giving you a message from the universe and a message of your soul that you need to better recognize and better solidify within your own heart and mind and body the toxicity of their seduction and the beguiling of their ways. They are greedy for attention. They will do whatever it takes. And so realize that it is, not the prosperity of your soul which is connected to this person. It is oftentimes the deprivation or impoverishing of your soul that comes with this character or this female psychopath. And if your energy is still thrown off, it's showing you, it is giving you a lesson that part of you still does not feel that you have shored up your boundary, that part of you is still open, connected, or able to be suggested or have your vision routed. In other words, your vision affected to incorporate that which is not in your best interest. So it means you have to shore up your tools and arrive at the understanding that you understand completely and accept, no matter how painful it is, the limitations of this being in your life. They are not, the eternal guide towards the light, perhaps, which you had originally thought. And when you opened yourself up, it is to understand that you need to go back and beneath, shut off that boundary, shut it off, before they came into your life. In other words, recovery and healing is to go back before the gate was opened and to look at that gate and to see where it was made in disrepair. It is to see that you had allowed them into your land, the court of your being. If you look at it even like a basketball court, in other words, where we played at, or where we were exchanging moves, energy, throwing the ball, having discussing strategies, life strategies, how to win together, realize that they are on the opposite team, that they are and you have to understand that in its heart and go back and repair that gate before they even came in, before you even let them into your court. In other words, your ground, where you have direction, where you have strategy, where you throw the ball. In other words, the back and forth. Don't be dismayed and feel at error when you have thrown the ball to the other team and you feel you have lost your control, lost your way, lost your happiness, lost the playfulness. Do you see how people feel that they have oftentimes lost a specific vitality, or they have been gaslighted or brainwashed by this energy, if you will? So even just look at it as for what it is, as a ball of energy. Before it had a name, before it had a face, before it had its introduction into your life, Look at it as in the realm of energy. And this energy had come into your life is a specific way, but you need to then understand what it is in reality. Now that you have had experience and you are still being thrown off by, is it your vision, the hearing, your heart, your physiologically, your feet, and understand that you are able to energetically release it 100% and shore up the gate and the boundary where they first entered in. In other words, if you look at the energy as if coming into your own land, as if you were a farmer, as if you had 40 acres, 100 acres of land that was, fenced off, and you let this one into your land, and they were in the playful nature and had strategy, etc. Realize that you now need to go back and repair where they had come in and then indeed not entered in through the gate, the actual proper gate. They had, broken down part of the fence and left it in disrepair, where no matter what could come in and out, they were then in control of that breakage beyond your awareness. So you thought you were letting them into the in through propriety and proper. Realize that they were coming in through the back, the side, the basement. Realize that it's important for you to shore up all boundaries. And no matter how it makes you feel, perhaps there is part of your character that feels, but it is in my character to always be open. It is in my character to take in the wounded. It is in my character to be a listener. It is in my character to put family first. It is in my character to take care of the needy. So look at what is in your character that is then being triggered. And then it is allowing you to move your ear in their direction, your eyes in their direction, and feeling that that is directing you. That is what is still directing you and causing your energy to feel thrown off, because it's resonating with a true part of you that you need to become aware of and protect and become sensitive to. Meaning, look at the door with which they entered in. Were they a savior? Were they a friend, a companion, a soulmate, a sibling, a mentor, a savant to you? To what degree did you embrace that? And look at how they entered in. Now, I want you to shore up and repair and shut off that with which they came in. And realize they betrayed that with which they came in as. In other words, there was, the persona and the illusion and what you know now. So it's important for you in your mind to have a firm, solid boundary, even if it feels like something which you have not utilized before. In other words, you now need to realize that you cannot invite in or have in your life this toxic energy which is going to destroy that which is within your keeping. And if you allow that destructive energy in, it will also destroy the other allies and the other strengths which are within that field. In other words, it will take down the plants, it will take down the animals, it will take down the harvest, it'll take down the beauty, it'll take down the value of that land, whether it's physical or internal, whether it's in your physical environment or your internal environment. It is the thief that which is. It's the wolf in the sheep's clothing, like the book that is written. It is to understand and to validate that 100%. So even though they look attractive, seductive, whatever it is, they're enchanting, they're beguiling, the character of their way, realize that it's important for you to understand that you do not need that, and to shut that out, and to not be alarmed when it comes to when it comes to your understanding, to not be shaken by it, to not be physically affected, to realize that this presence has no bearing on your strength and your position and your stance, your values. It is to understand your and to know your values, and to not be afraid to refuse the values of what they are presenting, the values of falseness, the values of lying. Would you incorporate this? Would you like, what they are bringing, would you like more of this in your life? You have to ask yourself this question in order to get very strong and healed within. Would you like what they are bringing into your life? If part of you is still shaking, then part of you is still saying yes. Unfortunately, with these people, you can't pick and choose. I would like you for dinner, but not for lunch. I would, like your presence, but I would not like your input. You can't simultaneously pick and choose with the female psychopath or the narcissist, whether they're male or female. When they come a-knocking, when their energy comes a-rapping, you have to ask yourself the question, do I still need what they are bringing? Would I like to have increase of that more in my life? Would I like to have more lies? Would I like to have more cheating? Would I like to have more deception? Would I like to have more drama? Would I like to have more chaos? Would I like to have more worry? Would I like to have more greed? Would I like to have more guilt? Would I like to have more sleeplessness? And then unequivocally, you need to answer to the energy and not to the name of that person. And if you can answer to the energy, then you can answer to yourself, and you need to be able to speak that with conviction and know that you are standing guard, and understand that it's important for you to be able to answer to this and just understand what you're answering no to, because part of you, if your energy is still thrown off, you're not clear 100% on what it is you are refusing and you are shoring up. And then once you are understanding and clear, you will not be affected. When you think of them in the world, you will not be threatened. You will understand that they will come and go and pass by you like the leaf on a stream. Go to a stream and a creek by you and see if you can identify a leaf or a stick or something that just comes from, one direction and passes by you, and it does not affect you. See if you can give yourself an exercise, perhaps on a recovery date, where you can go by a body of water and see something that it has carried right in front of you, and it does not have any bearing on you. That is what the energy of the female psychopath is, to be on your journey. Understand that to journal is to write your journey. Journal, journey. Do you see the connection of words and meaning? This is your journey. The psychopath will have you believe that you belong to them as if your land belongs to them. Do you see how they take people, land, people's feelings over and try to take it as their own when it belongs to you? You don't see this falling beneath your hands and through your fingers in the beginning because you did not know what you were dealing with. How could you have known? How could you have identified before they revealed themselves? How could you have known until you saw the mask be pulled off? The sheep, they pulled it off and you saw what was underneath. And you need to trust your senses. You need to have trust 100%. And even if you have never named something before, have trust in yourself to name it now. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is that which is passing before me in my life, like the leaf on the stream. You need to go and look at this and understand that just as the leaf on the stream does not affect you, even though you have seen it, and it is being carried away from the tree with which it is, and just realize that is like that presence. And when it leaves, and allow it to leave your vision and allow it to just pass by. In other words, see it, acknowledge it, and validate it, and let it pass by. But realize that it cannot, become more than what it is. In other words, it is not on your tree. That leaf is not still hanging above you, shaking and bringing energy and taking the light and making it into wood. Realize that this is not the fire of true kinship. It does not have your passion anymore. As reflecting on the elements, human connection is like the fire of spirit. We have the fire of connection. It gives us light. It gives us warmth. It kindles our soul. We can contribute to it. And it gives us hope. It gives us belonging. It is a sacred fire. That is the passion of human connection. And it will warm your soul, and it will help you in times of clearing. So you can also use smudging with the intention that it purifies your home and your energy of this feeling. And to realize that if you go back and heal that boundary, that place in the fence where they came in that was not the gate, go in and repair that where they came in and say, nope, I am not permitting any to come in that hole, that opening anymore. I do not allow any energy to come in through that opening anymore. They are not coming in through that opening. That opening, once upon a time, was a vulnerability. It was a need. It was a place. It was a place within your soul. But however, there's no more. Not this energy, not energy, any other energy like it is going to come in, because based on what we've just discussed, the reasoning why. So go in and go back and understand the vulnerability, the need, the void, the place with which they came in. Shore it up and heal it now. Because of the void of the need that was there before, which was the reason why you invited them in, go back to that original formidable moment. Part of healing, a very important part of healing, is knowing from whence they originally came in. That introduction moment. Where did you first meet them? What was the situation? What transpired after that? Now go back before that pivotal moment where they first arrived, before you even knew them, and look at your soul and your spirit now and how it was then. Go back at this present moment and go back and look at that moment when they first arrived in your life. Right before the pivotal moment, just seconds before. Who were you? What was your need? What was your vulnerability? What was your, where were you open? It might have been a very long time ago. It might have been a short time ago. What was your perspective, and what was your need, and what was that void? Where did you invite them in? Go back and then realign and look at that need and advise yourself that your need at that moment was not fulfilled, even though you thought it would be fulfilled by this energy. Go back and seal it now, and do not interact with that energy. Do not invite that energy in. Go back and seal it, meaning energetically seal it off with like something that's energetically waterproof, fireproof, windproof. It is sealed 100% from any energy or elements. Just seal it off now so that nothing can transmute or get through the barrier. And waterproof meaning like the emotions, which are fluid. Fire, which is, humanity. And wind, which is the momentum that carries the energies. And seal it off now so that nothing can break through it. Just as in your own house, if water was trickling down, you would seal it up. You would, repair, a hole in the roof. Go back and seal it now. And you can light a candle that is true, that is true passion for you. You can go out and, and see the the flow of water and realize the true and embrace the true emotions and values that water represents. Does that make sense? And so once you do that repair, when they come around, you'll know what it is and you won't be affected. You'll know you've done the inner work of sealing it off because you understand what it is and you're no longer affected. You stand strong. And where there is strength, there is going to remain strength. Solidify that now. Your energy will not be affected. They are not worth it. It's your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. I hope that these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe, and please donate for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Peace out. Have a beautiful day in oneness.